Hi, I'm Colin Bunyan. Welcome to the first video recipe in 6 years. Got to apologise for the background noise. We've got the washing machine on the go. Who says men can't multitask, by the way? This is for the recipe that a lot of people at work have been waiting for. This is the ultimate frangipane. 50 gram of butter melted. Well, 50 gram of butter to melt. Medium heat. We don't need too much. Just need enough for it to melt. We're not going to make brown butter. Right, what we now do, 200 grams of amaretti biscuits. Now, because I've got the world's cutest but ridiculously small food processor, I am going to have to do this in batches. So, for those of you who don't know what amaretti biscuits are, they're an unusually small Italian biscuit. A combination of apricot and almond flavour, which is ideal for this. That was in real time, as opposed to fake time, which is what Donald Trump calls fake news. And I'll just flip it there. That is what the texture should look like. That's one batch. I'm going to get the rest done. Right, there we are. 200 gram of crushed amaretti biscuits. To that we are going to add our melted butter, 50 grams. You don't need a whole lot. And I'm going to add 50 ml of this stuff, Disaronno liqueur. That is what's going to set this above everything else. Because you've got almonds on top of almonds on top of almonds. Alright, now because you've got the sugar in the cookies, you don't need to add sugar. The base is going to be sweet enough, especially with this sweet elixir. Just under a quarter cup. Quarter cup, for those who don't know, 60 ml, so just under will be 50. That goes back in the alcohol cupboard, and then all we do is we stir it all together, allowing all the dry spots to be incorporated with the butter and the Disaronno until you get some wonderfully damp crumbs like that. That is what you should be looking at. No dry spots, all be able to clump together. Loose bottomed baking tin, ideal to get this out. Scrape it all in. Looks like there's a lot, but trust me, it'll be fine. Okay. And then all we do is we compress it down using the same quarter cup. I'm going to try and get some up the sides as well, so we have a mini wall. Because otherwise, if you don't have that wall of crumbs, it can collapse a little bit when you set it out, okay? I'd say that looks pretty good. That is what you should be looking at. Nice top. Now that needs to go into the freezer for about 10 minutes. We don't want to freeze it, but we want it to be more solid when we work with it later on. In the meantime, another bowl, 50 gram of butter at room temperature is in there. And I'm going to add about the same weight in caster sugar. Smearing with a spatula. The butter has to be at room temperature for this, otherwise it's not going to work. There we are. That's what it should look like. Nice light fluffy paste. Scrape down the spatula. Grab a whisk, crack in a single egg. And beat furiously, because at first it's not going to mix. It looks like you've done something wrong, but trust me, keep going, keep persevering. That's what it should look like. Doesn't look that appetising, but relax, it will be. Okay, and then what we do, we need 150 grams of ground almonds. So, okay, and I'm now going to add vanilla extract. And a little bit of almond extract. Now you've got to be very careful, this stuff is strong, so that is all you need. You can be generous with the vanilla, but the almond, you've got to measure doses. I'm also going to add the last of the golden syrup. This is optional, but I'm just going to do it just so I can use up the last couple of tablespoons in that pot. Right, what we're now going to do is I'm now going to go back to the spatula and whisk that together. We'll fold that together to create a dry, sandy sponge mixture. That's what it should look like. Beautiful sponge paste. I have the pie dish. It's been in for about 5 minutes, so it's not frozen, but it has cooled down. I want 2 teaspoons of raspberry jam. I don't want that much, but it must. This is another reason why I want it cold, so it can spread. Take this almond sponge mixture and scrape it on to the top of the tart. We do not want to waste any of this stuff. You don't want to be worrying too much, but you want to get it fairly even. But yeah, don't worry about neatness, because the next and final step is to garnish with fresh raspberries. Now, sometimes you'll get blackberries still at this time of year. They go very well here as well. I mean, normally when you get a biscuit base, it's made with digestive biscuits. It's okay for cheesecake stuff, but it can be quite heavy. For this, you want it light. You want a lighter base. Finally, give it a light pressing down. Not too hard, but just enough to make sure it stays in place. And that goes into the oven, gas mark 5, for 35 to 40 minutes. Let's see it when it comes out. There we are, that's the frangipane tart. It's been in 35 minutes. Stick that in, comes out clean. Do it again, comes out clean. Therefore, that is done. It's the ultimate frangipane tart. Now the bad news is that needs to cool down completely before you serve it. This is the tart. It's been cooling for about an hour. And now what I'm going to do, grab one of these ramekins from another famous dessert. Oof, look at that. That, my friends, is how a dessert should look. So this will serve 8. Okay, as you can see, I've cut a couple of the bits out. We've had them already. Slightly too warm, but no matter. You can see this is going to be a bit awkward. That's better. So cut through. Get a faint crunch at the bottom of the base. Got the almond sponge. Got the jam and the raspberries. Oh man, you've got the tang, the sweetness, smoothness. Absolutely gorgeous. Thanks, and take it easy. Enjoy yourself.